Welcome to the Halley Elise Show, featuring your host, empowerment psychic Halley Elise. She is an author, psychic, and media personality, and has been listed as one of the top 100 psychics in America. Empowerment psychic Halley Elise shares the spiritual, metaphysical, holistic, and magical powers of the universe. Follow Halley on her website at HalleyElise.com, and all her shows can be seen via live stream video. Now, here's your host, empowerment psychic Halley Elise.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in. Because last week was a rebroadcasted show for Psychic Monday, I figured, okay, changing the rules a little bit, tell you all that it's the third week, and here it is the fourth week. But this way, you got to listen in last week and watch what goes on Psychic Monday. And this evening, I'm going to have callers. At least that's the intention. So if you'd like to have a question answered, tonight's the right time to do that. And the phone number is 888-565-1470. That's 888-565-1470. I'm going to take a moment and share a little bit of information, as I often do, and then we'll move on. So first off, it's the end of the year already. How'd that happen? Thanksgiving is just in a few days. I mean, it's just amazing. Really and truly, I was just sitting there going, it's March. Woof, gone. Get ready for next year. All kidding aside, I'm going to tell you that next year globally is going to be impacted on many different levels with extreme joy as well as extreme sadness. And I know that sounds general, but the feeling that I've been getting is we are going to have I'm going to say monumental changes, earth changes, as well as some political changes, in addition to people standing up more for themselves. So you're going to have the opportunity to see a major shift take place. A lot of people who you thought were kind of laid back, easygoing, all of a sudden they're asserting their own power. You're going to find people in government that you thought were steadfast, that were staying in their position, all of a sudden walking away. So it's going to be a really interesting year, and I probably should have waited till next month, which is like a week away, to do this, but I just felt compelled to do it now. And I was thinking in terms of Israel. I had actually forecasted some of the chaos that's been taking place, and I was off by a year. What can I tell you? Sometimes my timing is perfect, and sometimes not. I actually had some dear friends who were living there at the time, and I kept saying, please come back, because I kept feeling that heaviness there. And sadly, when you get those types of feelings, you don't necessarily want to share them. By the same token, you want to be as helpful as possible and give information that has value, that can help people. So I don't too often talk about world events or even politics. Stay away from, the idea is in general conversation or polite conversation, you stay away from politics and you stay away from religion because you can get yourself in trouble. Yeah, sometimes I get myself in trouble. Most of the time I stay away from it, but I just get, as I said, this big impetus to share that next year, 2015, is going to be pretty amazing as far as how vast change is going to be. You're going to find also people that have been saying, they're in a place of lack, that money's been difficult. All of a sudden, that starts to blossom. So we definitely are moving into something very extreme and very different. It'd be interesting to talk with, I should have probably done this beforehand, spoken to some friends that do astrology, because I'm sure they would be able to say, oh, this planet is doing that, and this is, convexed with that, and turned over here. And can you tell I don't do astrology? But oftentimes when I'm sharing information, it seems to be in alignment with what they're getting also, as far as, that macrocosm when it comes to the planets. So just something to keep abreast of. And I'm going to say really and truly, in as much as we often talk about what is it that we want to accomplish for 2015, don't think of it so much of it as accomplishing. Think more of, what do I deserve? How am I valuing myself? Because there is going to be this wonderful shift for those of you who have been in a place of fear or in a place of worry about actually getting what you believe you deserve or getting what you think it's time for. There is a lot of positive change here. As much as I said there's going to be turmoil, you're going to find that the average person is experiencing a lot of change, and thankfully a big bulk of it is positive. The world events that are going to take place, we're going to have an opportunity to be kind to one another again. We're going to have an opportunity to come together. Now, I know that it's sad that we have to think something crazy has to happen for people to stand up for each other, but it's a learning experience. And I know that doesn't make it easy, because a lot of times people say, okay, you know what? This whole human thing, and I'm doing the humanness, and I'm supposed to be a spirit, and I'm supposed to be evolved, and I'm supposed to attract, and I'm supposed to. But really and truly, everyone is here so that they grow, so that they experience themselves more, so that they allow themselves to experience and share that God experience. A little more esoteric than I wanted to go into this evening, but that's what popped up. So there you go. See, that's what happened when I don't have a guest. It's just off the cuff and I start. Anyways, a reminder this evening, if you have a question you'd like answered, I am doing Psychic Monday. So you can give a call in at 888-565-1470. I'm going to mention, too, that the December gallery is on. I had a few people asking, oh, because of the holidays, are you still going to have the gallery? Absolutely. I believe December 1st is the first Monday of the month. So we will have a gallery. And if you've never been to the gallery, you definitely want to attend this one, because of it being the holidays. I give away more gifts. There's like certain months I give away extra gifts. One is my birthday month, and then there's Valentine's Day, and then December because of the holidays. So again, you might want to come out to this one. Keep in mind too, if you go online to the website, HalleyElise.com, that's HalleyElise, you can actually get a discounted entry for the gallery. So that's kind of cool. Meditation classes. A lot of people have been asking about that, because I only did a couple of series in 2014, and I've been debating on should I continue, should I do more. I'm going to take a look at the calendar, I'll be honest, and see if it works to do it for December. And we'll see what happens. If not, we're going to look at January. But all that information also is on the website on HalleyElise.com. And we are going to continue doing meditation classes over at the How Center. That's HOW with a question mark. Sounds funny. But the gals who put it together really wanted you to think, and how represents holistic, organic wellness. So that's where we are going to have the meditation classes. And it's a great little center. You will love it. I'm wondering if there is a call. We have a call. Okay, great. So I'll take a call, and then we'll be right back as far as chit-chatting. Hello, caller. Are you there?
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks. How are you?
Great. So what is your question this evening?
To be honest with you, I am in between jobs. I've started something new that I've been doing for a while now, and I was trying to decide whether to monetize it or not, if that's the way I should go, or is there something else I should be doing, or.
Okay, now you mentioned you have two. It's interesting, because the one that you're asking about for the monetization feels like that you have more of an affinity to, like you have more fun with it, or that there's potential to have more fun. For me, it's more about enjoying yourself while making money, and not just about making money. So I would say take the opportunity to do your due diligence, and definitely see about monetization, but see about it in the regard of you not doing all the work. If there is a way to employ somebody else that they can help you with your sales or your marketing, or help you in the sense of getting the ball rolling, that would be a good idea.
With
because
stuff that I don't like, right?
Yeah, that's it. Because the feel here is there are certain parts of this you're not really thrilled with. And as much as you can have fun on, let's say, the front end, it's the back end stuff that you need to get done to make it happen. Yet that doesn't seem like it makes you happy. So
no, not at all.
Think in terms of having perhaps even a college student give you a hand with some of it.
Yeah. Well, I have had some people that were going to work on contingency, on contingency. I've been around too many lawyers today. Kind of, what's the word I'm trying to think of?
Commission? Commission?
Thank you.
Okay.
So, but it's not worked out. It just hasn't worked out at all. I mean, and they even got to write the contract the way they want it. So I'm just kind of at a loss as to what to do. But I'll try the student thing.
Well, I would suggest the student thing, and I would also suggest trying a different route as far as how you're getting people. Meaning, perhaps call the college and talk to I'm trying to think of the department here. It either has to do with resources or it has to do with counseling. No, that's not the right term. Wow. Well, maybe it is student counselor or student guidance. That might be the right term. But talk with them and let them know that you have an interest in having somebody come in, see what they recommend, because oftentimes they want to help their students while they're going to school to actually get their foot in the door in a particular field. And that might be a good venue.
So they'll get credit for it too then.
Right, exactly. So it's a win-win situation if you go that route. The other thing is, don't forget about social marketing. It's so prevalent today. It's very easy to just put a little blurb out there and have it go viral and have a lot of people contacting you. So what I would really suggest is sit down and write out what type of person you want to come in and write down from soup to nuts. For instance, they are punctual or they're very savvy or very articulate, whatever it is, in addition to the skill set that you want them to have. But get really clear for yourself so that when you start to interview, you can really select the right person.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm so glad you called. Thanks so much. So there you go. All right. So back to, it's funny, I'm going to use a Yiddish word, mishagas, which means a bunch of different stuff. I was mentioning about the gallery, mentioning about meditation. I'm doing that 360 thing I do. I start here and I kind of go away and I come back. But we are going to have an amazing 2015. We're going to take a quick little break and we'll be right back. Try to get your call in 888-565-1470. See you in a moment.
Bob, did you see Halley Elise in the paper?
Who?
The empowerment psychic, Halley Elise. They did a 2-page write-up. The columnist was enthralled. Halley went right to an issue that she was dealing with. I'm looking at HalleyElise.com right now.
What are you thinking? Should we schedule an appointment?
Matter of fact, yes. You have issues with Sue and me, my business. Take a look at her background. It's impressive, and she has decades of experience.
I want to put it on my iPad. What's her info?
Empowerment Psychic Halley Elise. HalleyElise.com. 561-755-2166.
Spell it.
HalleyElise.com.
So it's HalleyElise.com and 561-755-2166, right?
561-755-2166. That's it.
You're listening to Empowerment Psychic Halley Elise, and she invites you to visit her website for more information about all that she does at HalleyElise.com. Now, back to your host, Empowerment Psychic Halley Elise.
Welcome back to the Halley Elise Show. We took a little break and a caller's on the line, so I'm going to go ahead and take the call. Joanne, are you there?
Hi, Halley. Yes, I am. How are you?
How are you? I'm well, thank you.
Great.
So how can I help you this evening?
Well, I've had some significant changes the past 5 months in my life, and I think they're positive. And I'm thinking of maybe branching out, and hopefully I'd like to know if you see my finances increasing because of this.
Okay.
And hope, I'm doing this to better my finances, my financial situation.
Okay. It's interesting because as soon as she said finance, I got the feeling of almost like a multi-level type of endeavor. And I don't know if that is the right terminology, because nowadays we have like direct marketing, which is similar to multi-level, meaning like you are not the only one that is building your business, but you actually have assistants. But that's the feeling that popped up immediately. So if you're not specifically doing a, let's say, direct marketing type of situation, there are definitely other people around you that you can use as resources to help build your business. So the biggest thing that I get is don't be afraid to ask. I feel like you are very savvy at what you do, and you are also very compassionate. And that compassion sometimes gets you into trouble when it comes to business, because if somebody wants what you have, but they tell you their story and you have that compassion kick in, you will give the boat away. So
yeah, that's me.
that's you. Okay. So I just want to make the suggestion before you go to open your mouth and say, oh, let me help you. Let me take care of this. Think to yourself, this is a business. This is a business. This is a business.
Thank you. Yeah, you have to reinforce that with me.
Yes.
I was a groomer before I was that. I was a paralegal, and as a groomer, I had moved to the South, for example, and I wasn't making any money. I was just doing all the neighbors' dogs.
Right,
basically,
right.
just to make sure that they were clean.
They
and
were taken
healthy
care
and
of.
happy.
Mhm.
And, right. And, like, I've never even charged anybody. So there went that business.
Right, right. And what I'm
but
feeling, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. This is an aesthetics. Suvera sun tanning, waxing. It's a multi-leveled modality, if you will,
Okay.
of skincare.
Okay. Yeah, because again, the feeling was it was similar to that multi-level type of feeling where there is a lot of, if you will, a lot of details that are entailed, and yet a lot of people around. Even though you are going to personally be doing services and sharing information, I still get other people around you to support you. So what I want to tell you is this has success written all over it if you can stick to guidelines for yourself, if you can stick to boundaries. And what I mean by that is if you have a time schedule of, let's say, 9 to 4, and somebody says, oh, but I can't make it until 6, can't you do it? You have to learn how to say no. You have to stick to that boundary because you want your business to be considered a business. You want to have people feel that you're a professional, not that you're just a nice person who does a good service, but that you have professional standards. The same is true with what you're giving them. If you have a special and you're doing a combination of services, that's great. But just because this gal walks in and says, oh, but please, shouldn't mean that all of a sudden you change your timetable to accommodate those additional services or change your fee. You follow?
Absolutely.
Okay. Because I really feel like if you can, I'm going to say, be more strict with yourself than you have in the past, this is not only going to be successful for you, but you will build on this. And again, I keep coming back to that feeling of like direct marketing, multi-level. I almost feel like you're going to have the opportunity to not only share your work, but you will train other people to do the same. So, for instance, they will, let's say, have their cosmetician or cosmetologist license, and you are able to have them also take over aspects of the business. But I get expansion. So
that's wonderful. Yeah, that's wonderful.
It really is about structure, honey. If you have a strong foundation, this is going to fly. So you really have to I'm going to make a funny suggestion, but sit down and write down all the things that you would like to do differently than what you did in your previous position.
Okay.
Because you're going to find that there's a pattern here that you've had since you were, I'm going to say 16.
Yeah.
And, it's just been recurrent. And if you notice it and you say, wait, I don't really like the way that's working out for me, and you are, again, more strict with yourself, then you're going to find that everything just flows. But seriously, take advantage of those resources that are around you. You have people that want to see you succeed, that genuinely like you, that will show up for you. Stop being uncomfortable about asking. I know you're the one who likes to run in and fix everything and take care of everybody.
Yeah.
But it's time. It really is. It's time to say, you know what, Sam, I need that wall painted. I don't have the time to do it. Sam will come over and do it. I need to buy a so-and-so, but I don't have the truck to pick it up. It'll be done. Honestly, just ask. Okay?
But you definitely see that this would be lucrative for me.
I get extremely lucrative, yes. The only thing, you're welcome. The only thing that I keep hearing and feeling is that foundation is important, honey. You really have to say to yourself, I'm not just doing this for fun. I'm building my future, because at this point, you don't want to switch again. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with changing careers or changing what you're doing. But I feel like in your heart of hearts, you want to be in a place where you're not concerned about what your future looks like. You want to be in a place where you have that continuity of money flow. And
I do. I mean, yeah, absolutely. I'm going to be 48 in December. This is going to probably be my last, for me right now, from where I'm feeling today, this will be my last big career change.
Right.
And I love it, and I want to be successful with it. And you're right, I have to learn to say no. Sometimes no, like I said, professionally speaking, it shows greater integrity when you.
Well, it shows integrity,
no.
But more important, what you're doing is you're showing the universe that what you're doing is important to you. What you're doing matters. You're validating yourself. And if you do that, then the universe conspires to bring you everything that you want in the way that you want it. If you are willy-nilly about things, then that's how they show up. And again, if you take a look at your patterns, it's not that you've not been a hard worker, because you always have, and it's not that you haven't thrown yourself into whatever it is you're doing, because you are one of these people that you're voracious about when you get involved with something. You're all for it. But it's that ability to take your compassion and say, it's not needed right in this moment. I can be kind, but I don't have to fix it for them. I'm entitled to make a living. I'm entitled to have a successful business.
Yeah, I never knew how to ask any, and I have a problem asking anybody to do anything for me. I have a problem with asking people for money, and this is seriously, this is the first time that I'm really branching out on my own. So you're right, and I thought about these things, and I said, you have to be more, not that I'm not ever professional, but you just have to be more stringent, set boundaries, and stick to it.
Exactly. And listen, you're still going to be you, meaning you like to play and you like to laugh, and you can still do that with your clients. You're pulling out an eyebrow and they're like, ow, you go, hey, at least it'll stop, it'll feel good when it stops hurting. You can be still yourself and be silly.
It hurts me more than it hurts them sometimes. I hear what you're saying. You're so wonderful, Haley.
Thank you so much. Thanks for calling. Have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, I was looking in the back because the way the station is set up, it's kind of funny. We have our cameras here, but our main guy is behind me, so periodically I check to see if there's a call there. But while we're waiting on a call, I just wanted to bring up again about the meditation classes. So it looks like they will still be on Wednesdays. It still will be at 7 p.m. It's just the date that seems to not be right in the forefront right now. So I will definitely let you know. And as I said, you can take a look at the website. And if you've not checked out the website, please do, because it doesn't just have about service and fees. There are some articles there that you may find are interesting. There's information, believe it or not, on how to pick a psychic, because my feeling is you don't always connect with everybody. So you want to know what the rules are for yourself, what to look for, what feels right. For instance, one of the things that I have on this one page is if you walk in the door and the person makes you uncomfortable, leave. Doesn't matter if you have an appointment or not, leave, because it's about you and it's about your being content and feeling comfortable and safe, believe it or not. There are some people that are in this business that sadly don't have integrity. They may be gifted and they may have the ability to give you information, but they don't always do the right thing. So you want to make sure that you go to the person that feels right for you. Now, as far as the Psychic Gallery, for those of you, and I mentioned briefly, December is the good time because gifts and all, but for those of you who have not been, it really is an experiential, evening, because you come out, you get to interact, you get to play with energy, you get to build your own abilities, and you get to have a psychic interaction and deal with that psychic phenomenon in a different way than what you do normally. And a lot of times I find that people that attend the gallery, all of a sudden their own abilities and talents start to blossom. Speaking of that, though, so that I don't forget, I do have a psychic apprenticeship course, and since 2015 is coming up, I will be letting in a few more students. I never do more than 10 a year because I want to make sure that anybody who's training with me is getting the information. They're getting what they need as far as support. So that's something you may want to look at. And I think, actually, I have to have my web guy change something because he had put something up there in respect to the psychic apprenticeship program for business. And I think he may have taken down the regular ones. I'm going to have to check on that. Just as if you have a question, you can always email me too. And just email Halley at halleyelise.com. And it's easy. In the interim, while things are, like I said, going to change so vastly next year, you have the opportunity to really begin to let go of things this year before anything happens. And what I mean by that simply is take a look at what's in your world that you don't care for. And as I mentioned to this lady that I just spoke to on the phone, as far as writing certain things down, there's a really simple exercise you can do. Write down the list of things that you don't like. Put a line through it, like exit out. And next to it, write down its opposite. When you get done, take a look at what the opposites are, which would be those things that you do like or do want. And take a look and ask yourself, well, how can I make that happen? Or who operates this way? Who do I know who's already doing this, who might be a good influence for me or helpful to me? Because so often we have this innate knowing about something we're supposed to be doing or a different direction, and yet we don't follow it because we're kind of stuck in that pattern of, okay, I work at a particular job, or I have a family to take care of, or bills to pay, or whatever it is that is keeping you in that little box. Now's the time to break out. Thanksgiving is a great time. It's not just a matter of being thankful for the day or eating turkey. I mean, it's great, obviously, if you spend it with family, with friends, but Thanksgiving is a time to be thankful for yourself. And I know a lot of people have a hard time with that, but you want to open up your own abilities. You want to be able to hear that divine information that's coming in. Get more centered. If you do that, you will find that information starts to flow. All right, then. I thank you so much for tuning in this evening. It is the end of our show. It flies by. Thanks to our callers who called in, and we'll see you next week. Good night.
Be enchanted and delighted. Connect each week here on WNN for the Halley Elise Show. Also on Facebook and at HalleyElise.com. Thanks for tuning in.